Hello everyone and welcome back to the playlist, and that is Monster Review for 5e. This episode we're going to be covering the Blights. So Needle Blight, Twig Blight, and Vine Blight. I honestly have to say, these three creatures are perfectly fine. There's really nothing bad about them. I mean, I might have a discrepancy with Twig Blight because of their armor to HP. I mean, when I think of a Twig Blight, I don't really think of something that's durable, but it's pretty good for maybe like swarming enemies and catching enemies off guard, and good for maybe quick attacks, very expendable creatures. I would probably reduce the armor to 5, but keep the HP at 4. I do like the idea of giving it false appearance. I do like how it gives it like a stealth proficiency, which is kind of nice. Blind sight, its passive perception's pretty decent, it's not terrible. Vulnerabilities, it makes sense for all of them. In fact, actually, the Vine Blight doesn't have any vulnerabilities whatsoever. Neither does the Needle Blight, which is very interesting why the Vine Blight isn't vulnerable to fire damage. I think that would be something that is repetitive amongst the two. Needle Blight is very interesting. I'm not too sure what the Needle Blight is, if it's like this armored thing, but really the Twig Blight has more armor than the Needle Blight, which is actually kind of funny. Yeah, I'm confused on that part. I might have designed these, creatures to fit their name to add more flavor and roleplay opportunities for the GM. So Twig Blight would be this cunning ambusher, assassin kind of thing, where it's really fast. It has low armor, maybe average HP, so I'd probably do 9-10 armor to about 10 HP, which is totally fine. I would have its speed be maybe 35, 45. Yes, it is small, but I think that'd be really cool to play on this sneaky, stealthy, quick attack creature that's to play as if it's a average ordinary twig, and then it just pops up and it starts stabbing people or attacking them. Vine Blights, I like it. I mean, it has the constricting action, the entangling action. It's pretty damn good. It's got a decent amount of HP and armor. It's not too bad, too unbalanced. Speed is 10 feet. Again, I would have to really see how people would interpret these creatures, because to me, for a Twig Blight, I'm literally imagining a stick insect-like creature. And for the Vine Blight, I'm thinking maybe like something along the lines of the horrifying reef creature from Nightmare Before Christmas. So maybe I would envision like a cluster of vines that almost look like a pile of ropes. A pile of rope, if you imagine. And it would just dangle itself to try to capture people, strangle them and then pull them up to devour them or something. For the Needle Blight, I'm at a crossroads. I have no idea. Honestly, my thought when I heard of Needle Blight, it was literally these tiny little creatures that were shot out at people by other blights, and they would do stuff. I honestly have no idea. But Needle Blight is so weird. If you're looking at the artwork, they look like this big buff, and yet the armor is lower than the Twig Blight. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm so confused. I don't know. I'd probably just redo the Needle Blight, or just change it up, maybe, to a swarm of tiny blight creatures that are shot out of another blight, and they would impale people, and they would maybe release a toxin, whether that be a deadly toxin, a paralysis toxin, or like a fear toxin, or whatever. Or maybe they get shot out at something and then they start crawling along the creature and they start poking it and impaling it and whatnot. I don't know. I can't really see what they're trying to envision with the Needle Blight. It doesn't make sense. Like, the name is throwing me off, the description's throwing me off, the artwork is definitely throwing me off, because it doesn't look like a needle. Because when you're trying to design a character, you're trying to make everything come together when it comes to their abilities, their appearance, their weaknesses, their strengths, their resistances, all that stuff. We're trying to make everything come together and not be confusing. That even includes art if you're going to show art. If you're not going to show art in their description, whether that's descriptive of how they look or the description of where they come from, who they are, and all that other stuff, describing their abilities more in detail, you have to make it consistent and make sense. You can't just have people be confused. Anyways, let me all know what you think about the Blights. I think they're very interesting. It sucks that they don't really see that much action, and if they do, it's very mundane and boring from what people have told me. But yeah, I would love to see them get some extra care and some love. That's it for this episode. The next episode is gonna be about bugbears. I'm super excited about that because I love playing as a bugbear. Anyways, I'll catch you on that episode. Bara Viking, score!